Hello, J. Marians. Welcome to the chapter 6 for the topic in media information literacy subject that covers lesson 1 to 3 entitled Making Sense of Meaning, Values, Lifestyle, and Ideology in Media. So, this would be the last, and you will no longer be hearing from me, unfortunately. But I am very glad and I'm very happy to be able to finish the entire book in media information literacy. It's been quite some time and quite a roller coaster discussion, but I am very glad to have you in my class. Now, and to begin, let's first read the objectives for today's discussion. That at the end of the lesson, you will be able to first identify the process by which media stories are framed and how this entails the decision making process of inclusion and exclusion. Discuss how values, lifestyle, and points of view of certain groups of society are made dominant in an information text. Understand the differences between propaganda and persuasion, and define ideology and how media can be purveyor of ideology. Now, to start the discussion, I would like to ask you, what are values? For your own definition, for your own knowledge, what do you think are values? Or let's make it singular. What is value? What is a value? I know that you have your own definition of the word value or what values are. But according here, okay, values, these are individual beliefs that motivate people to act one way or another. They serve as guide. They serve as a guide for human behavior. Okay? Take note. The words individual beliefs. That's value. And the words serve as a guide for human behavior. So whatever you do, whatever your decisions are, that reflects your value class. Okay? Now, in the premises, now we have four premises here. Sex before marriage. Would you agree? Sex before marriage? Other would say, we're no longer primitive people. We're no longer living in the past. We are progressive society. It's fine. It's acceptable already. We could have sex before marriage. Other would say, no, save sex after the marriage. No, so many people would fight against this premise. No, what's your premise? No, what's your stand on this premise? Same sex marriage. No, other would say it's fine to marry a person uh with the same gender with you. If you're a woman, you can marry another woman. If you're a man, you can marry another man because it's not about uh gender preference or sexual preference, but it's all about your emotion, it's all about your feelings, it's all about love. However, those people who would contradict this same-sex marriage, they would say that would be a foolish thing to do. Okay, so that depends on your values. No, the answer for this premise depends on your, the answers depend on your value. That penalty, uh, would you allow if you were to become legislators, lawmakers? If you students, J. Marians, would happen to become a lawmaker in the future, would you legalize that penalty for cases um with verdict, like for example, um those crimes committed like rape, uh, multiple homicide, arson, and so on and so forth. Would you allow it? Would you allow a person to die? That's what we call death penalty. Would you agree? Well, if you don't, that's your value. And if you agree, that's your value. Okay. Legalize abortion. Okay. So for these premises, I know that you have your own standing. And whatever your decision, that's your value. Your standing, your answer to the premises reflect the kind of value you are raised with. Okay. Probably you came from a very what we call of this conservative family. Your family are not that progressive in nature. So what you did, you you would never allow such kind of premises sex before marriage, okay? Or same-sex marriage because you are in a uh, conservative family. But for those progressive, they would say it's fine. It's just like taking a deep breath and nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so your standing on the premises reflect the kind of value you are raised with. Okay, values, according to Dowell 2012, define values in various ways. He defines values in various ways, in many ways. It could be a special kind of belief that endures and is very unlikely to change. No? When we say endures, it sticks, no? It stays, and unlikely it will never change. No? As a belief, it can be prescriptive attitude and can serve as a guide for person's behavior. When we talk about prescriptive attitude, meaning imposing, meaning it is being imposed. And since it is prescriptive, it is imposing, it serves as a guide and it will never, and unlikely, it's mentioned here, unlikely to change. Okay? So that's your guide as person's behavior. Now, when we talk about perspective, no, it's not perspective, but prescriptive attitudes. Okay? When we talk about attitudes, these are affective expressions of our responses to events, circumstances, or people. From the word itself, attitude. From the word itself, affective. From the heart. Okay? Our attitudes can be prevalent or evident or existing or visible in our lifestyle and constitute or state of being our overall display of approval or disapproval toward a situation, event, or a person. For example, in the premise death penalty, because you want to preserve life, you will go against uh, the what we call of this. If someone would raise a bill or draft a bill for the legalization of death penalty, you would go against it because your attitude states that life must be preserved. Okay? And that's your value reflecting in your attitudes. Okay? So it says here, display of disapproval or approval or disapproval towards situation, events, or a person. For example, you don't like the person because in the way he talks or responses to you. Sasabihin mo, ah, di ko talaga siya gusto, sir, kasi bungangera siya. Matabil yung dila niya. And then, palagi siyang maingay sa klase and nag-cheat siya. So, there's a disapproval towards situation, event, or person. That's attitude. Okay? Next, we have lifestyle. When we talk about lifestyle, these are ways of living. Alam naman natin yan, no? Kung ano yung lifestyle. This is how we live in the daily basis, no? And consists of the interests, habits, behavior, and opinions of an individual, family, group, or even community. The way you bring your values, the way you bring your attitudes, the way your attitude being prescribed is also prevalent or evident in your lifestyle. Kaya pala ganyan siya, it's because ganito yung standing niya, no? So, connected yan, class. All, no? It goes back to the very nature of individual, and that is your value. Since your value is your standing, that defines your very being, and uh, and and points to what kind of life you are raised with. Okay. Now, this is most likely influenced by our personal values. No, as I've mentioned, lifestyle is characterized by two elements. One is tangible. When we talk about tangible, nahahawakan, tangible elements, which could be social class, okay, largely determined by income and material position. No? Yung iba, when we talk about lifestyle, maluho, kahit wala ng pera, milky-milky, di ba? So that's lifestyle, no? And yung iba naman yung lifestyle nila. They would prepare drinking in a tap water because alam nila yung lifestyle nila, their style of living. Simple lamang, okay? That's tangible elements. The other one is intangible elements. Now, when we talk about intangible elements, this could come with values, attitude, or person or a group is predisposed to, no? Ito na yung mga katangian, mga characteristic ng isang tao, the way he or she is bringing up him or herself or carrying him or herself, no, in the public, no? So makikita mo uh, the way he, what we call, dispose himself during during in an argument, no? The way a person uh what we call of this, if there if a certain issue rises up, you would say the kind of lifestyle in an under intangible element, when a person deals with it, no, you would identify, klase siya na tao, no? Because he can carry himself in the most professional manner. Okay. Next is personal values. These are what guide or drive our individual behavior. No, paulit-ulit lang. This can also be influenced by our spiritual values, which direct our actions and decision with regard to a higher power. Once one individual and his spiritual values are coherent and harmoniously aligned, when we say coherent, hindi nag hindi nagko-contradict, okay? A value system is prevalent or even nabubuo yung tinatawag nating value system. Okay? So, pag yung personal value ng tao at saka spiritual value ay nagkakasundo, harmoniously aligned, no? From the word itself, harmony, there is a union, unity. Okay? Then value system is prevalent. Okay? Next, let's proceed to media impact. So, anong koneksyon ng media impact sa pinag-uusapang value? Well, class, sometimes our values are being influenced as well by the impact created by media. Okay? Media impact, who and where uh, we were raised are not just the factors that affect our values and perception. No? It's true. Media also significantly contribute to our belief, thus making us stand on a principle without having a solid ground. No? Minsan, akala natin dahil sinasabi ng mainstream media, yun na yung value natin. Sometimes, mga kabataan ngayon, they thought that life is easy because sinasabi doon, you only live once. So you need to spend a lot to enjoy and do and this and that, forgetting that indeed you live once, but you also die once, correct? Once you die and tomorrow is never promised to anyone, what is the best thing to do? Is to create an impact in our society and not just to go liwaliw, no, and do vanities, no? Vanities are the favorite sins of of Satan, no? So anong gagawin mo? Magpapa-impluwensya ka sa media. Look at the youths today, no? They're being influenced by the media. It's fine to show their inner wear, no, in on social media. And people will say it's natural because yan yung uso. That's the impact of media in our society, and the society is degrading in the nature of value because the media creates an impact without you noticing it. Thus, by standing on such ground which is not solid, we are into oblivion, no? We are digging our own grave, no? So we're just like, no, the history before, yung mga ninuno natin raw wala pang mga damit, tama? So nag ang tinatabunan lang nila ah yung mga private parts lang nila, and later pumapasok yung mga design and design and design, kina-cover, and ngayon paunti-unti na ring nauubos yung tela, no? Paunti-unti na lang yung tinatabunan, and that's quite what we call of this alarming and quite sudden, no, to witness how our society regress, no? Supposedly that we should cover ourselves because we could create lots more of la- uh, lots of fabric, but yet we could see that yung mga damit na kokonti lang yung mga cover, mas mahal kaysa sa mga dresses na halos tatabunan ka talaga. Yeah, you see, that's the influence of media in our society, class. It affects our values and perception. You were once what we call of this preservative in nature. Now you become so uh liberate, no, because of keeping scrolling over social media. Okay, now let's proceed to the making sense of media frames of story. Here's a very good thing. Okay, this is a very good topic now. Framing is the way creators and producers organize and present the event field of meaning, no? Ito yung the way the creators of the media, okay, the producers, the creators, okay, create a specific angle to convey a specific meaning. Okay, here's an example. Uh, let's discuss it further. Okay. When tackling news stories in framing, for instance, the journalist provides an angle by which to tell the story or platform to launch the story. As just I mentioned just a while, just now, okay? Example ito. Sabi dito sa Anchorage, okay? Sabi dito, breaking news, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy nahuli na. Sabi naman dito sa isang Anchorage, no? Kibuloy, four others associate surrendered after PNP's I don't know, uh ano to, di ko kasi makita because of my video. So the point is, the other one is nahuli or captured, the other one is surrendered. You see the framing. The truth is, the fact, the matter is that Kibuloy, or the founding president, our founding president, was not captured, was not arrested. Okay, he surrendered. This is the correct angle. This is the correct frame, but this media outlet says that Kibuloy, or our founding president, was captured. See the frame? So you see now the difference, or you see now the very essence of framing. Framing is the way makers of media portray the kind of topic. Okay, that's framing. Media and the status quo. Okay, that's status quo. Status quo refers to the prevailing or existing state of affairs in society. Say prevailing or existing. Okay, status quo. Yan yung nangyayari sa ating society. The social institution and the relationship that exists between institution and social classes. Okay? So, it's the relationship between institutions, kahit anumang institution, private institution, government institutions, to the social classes. Sa mga social class, ano ba yung mga social classes? We have yung mga uh, uh, lower class, middle class, and higher classes. No, the prevailing state of affairs is such that very few hold economic and political power. There are also the elite who discriminate, exclude, and marginalize those who do not have economic and political resources. No? So, makikita mo sa status quo, ito yung the way our system, our world, our community works, no? Kikita mo na may mga taong makapangyarihan, keeping them powerful. May mga tao na mahirap, keeping them poor. That's how the system works, no? Even though in the world under in the nature under the republic, no, it's part of the status, no? It is the state of affair, how elite would like to run the world. Okay? Now, do media serve the status quo? Mainstream media and how it supports and perpetuates the status quo have been the cause of many reservation and resentment. No? Ito yung rason kung bakit nagkakagulo sapagkat yung status quo, no, or yung mga elite who run the world, no, ay hindi kinakalaban ng media o hindi ino-open up ng media because mainstream media as well, they are as well owned by this elite. Okay? So, um, public criticism against the media ranges from its bias in favor of mainstream idea. When we talk about mainstream idea, defined as popular, acceptable, unchallenged, and favored by powerful institution, to the propagation and reinforcement of stereotypes, no? So, yun yung mga tao nagsasabi, yung media masyadong masyadong bias, no? Masyadong unfair. But no one could ever fight against it because media or mainstream media is being supported, or supported is an easy term, but owned by these powerful people, no, working from behind the elite of elite. No? So we could not really change them because that's their nature. Okay? Nagtatago lang sila. They run the world. Okay? Para sa kanila, their definition of statement are acceptable. They cannot be challenged, and that's the reality. That's the fact. No? But grateful we are today that we have no, in the cases right now sa nangyayari sa mga kaguluhan, no, in the Senate and in the Congress, no, yung mainstream media selective yung pagre-report nila. But we have so many journalists right now, no? Hindi nga napagtapos nila yung hindi sila nakapagtapos ng journalism pero they are news vloggers and they're just carrying cell phones with them. Yet they have substantial, they have complete discussion of everything. No? So the complete report of everything, and we are grateful for technology. That we are able to contradict and able to challenge the credibility of the mainstream media, and they could not stop us as well because the mainstream media has this idea, this golden rule: everyone has the right and the freedom to speak up, to express his idea, his thoughts. Well, that goes both ways, no? Hindi lang sa kanila, pati na yung mga another outlet, just like the uh, bloggers, political bloggers, no? So to continue, what is propaganda? What are propaganda and persuasion? When we talk about propaganda, propaganda was first in the national consciousness when a group of illustrators launched the propaganda movement in Europe in 1868. Propaganda means to disseminate, no, or to promote particular idea. In Latin, it means to propagate or to sow, no? Pagtanim. When you say propaganda, it is an idea to sow, to propagate, okay? It is about communicating ideas designed to persuade. When you say persuade, to make you believe, accept, and understand the meaning. Persuade people to think and behave in a desired way, no? Kaya nagkakagulo the way media shape and frame the news of our vice president, no? Sara Duterte, no? Sara Duterte is telling that the this very nature of inquiry is to put shame on her name, to stop her from running in presidential election in 2028, no? It's too early. That's what Sara Duterte says. But during the Anchorage report of mainstream media, anong ginagawa nila? They would just state there, Sara Duterte yet again evade question, telling the committee as a joke, no, the making mockery over the ruling of the Congress to investigate, no, and that's the power of the power of the media, and their power brings propaganda, and that propaganda is being sold, no, sown into your consciousness, no? Itinatanim nila sa inyo yan, pinipilit nilang paniwalaan nyo, but we are grateful that we know the truth, no, because you are media information literate and you are what what news literate individual. So we are grateful, no, na napag-aaralan natin how to examine certain information. Hindi basta-basta naniniwala. You need to see to it. No? You need to research. You need to locate the reliability of the source, and so that you will be able to understand kung gaano katotoo ang isang statement. No? So we're grateful, no, na we have this knowledge. So in the context of propaganda, yan yung itinatanim. Okay? To communicate, to persuade people to think and behave in a desired way. Terms that are associated with propaganda are spin, news management, and public relation. When we talk about spin, often used concerning manipulating, spinning information so it can be angled to generate positive images. Not just positive, it could be the otherwise. No, so the news outlet or the media, mainstream media nowadays are spinning information against the vice president so that people would uh, find the vice president's action during the second or the last hearing, congressional hearing, the hearing conducted by o superseded by the Congress, undesirable, no? Sabi nun ni Inday Sara, this is an attack, a political attack against me, to stop me, to put dirt on me, uh, my so that I could not run in the 2028 presidential election. So no, that's how they spin information to create or to stain the image of the vice president. So people who do this are called spin doctors. No, we also have news management. No, manipulation of the media, especially by the press agents or publicists, to ensure favorable news coverage. No, so understandable. We have public relation. From the words of public relation, sila yung mga taong tinitingnan nila yung perception ng public, kung masaya ba ang publiko. No. But if they're not, they're trying to, what we call of this, somehow mediate or babawian nila ng konti yung tao para unting kukuhain again yung loob, and then pagkatapos sisiraan na naman yung isang tao, and then pag nagagalit yung publiko, so pinapaikot pa rin, no? So that's part of spinning pa rin. Pero ang tawag sa mga taong na tumitingin sa perception ng publiko ay yung public relation. Okay? Now, propaganda, according to Jowett and Dionel 2012, offer a more elaborate and comprehensive definition of propaganda that focuses on communication process. Yun na lang naman talaga ang pinaka-focus, no? That's the very focus of the term propaganda, to communicate, no? Propaganda is a deliberate, no? Malaya at sistematikong uh, paghuhubog ng persepsyon, pagmamanupula ng ng saloobin at pagdedirekta ng mga kaugalian ng mga tao papunta at patungo sa gusto ng mga taong na gumagawa ng propaganda. No? The definition carries more weight than the earlier definition stated, since this one underscores the willful, strategized move to shape perception. No? In the words of shape perception, binabaa, minumold yung perception ng isang tao, and to manipulate, no? Pag namold ka na, mamanipulate ka na with the sole intention of ideology, di ko mabasa, I'm so sorry, or ideology, or of furthering the objective of the propagandist. If I'm not mistaken, the last term, okay? Propagandist, okay? Now, ideology. Let's talk about ideology. It is a decidedly complicated term, it's true, with different implication depending on the context in which it is used. In everyday language, it can be an insult to charge someone with being, you are so ideological. It's an insult. Since this label suggests rigidity in the face of overwhelming evidence contradicting one's belief, no? Pag contradicting ka na, sasabihan ka na masyado kang ideological, no? Masyado kang ah, believe sa mga ideolohiya mo, no? It's actually an insult, because what makes it an insult, hindi mo na lang sasabihin that you have different values, you have different standing, you have different ideology. Because ideology is again your standing on a matter, no? On a certain matter. Okay? When we talk about ideology, lalabas diyan yung mga Marxist, okay? Marxist, no? Yan yung ginagamit ng mga NPA din class, no? Yung mga Marxist, no? Because Marxist book, no, or Marxism, to yung mga tinatawag diyan, iba yung pananaw nila sa pangkabuuan, konsepto ng ideolohiya, okay? When Marxists speak of ideology, they often mean belief system, no? ang kaugnayan ng pangkasalukuyang pamumuno or sistema, no, that help justify the action of those in power, no. Pagsasabihin mong ideology, pagpapasok yung mga Marxist, titingnan agad niya, ano ba ang ideolohiya, ano ba ang sistema ng mga namumuno, no, sa ating lipunan. That's already an ideology under Marxist. Okay? In power by distorting and misrepresenting reality. So be careful of reading this kind of book. No? When we talk about ideology, then we need to be careful to specify what we mean by the term. Okay? Ideology is said to have been coined by French aristocrat and torchbearer of Enlightenment ideals, Antoine de Thought de Tracy. Okay? I don't know if that was right. Antoine de Thought de Tracy. Okay? 1754, 1836. Okay? Karl Marx believed that ideologies were systems of thoughts perpetuated by the ruling classes. We talk ideology according to Karl Marx, daw class. Ito yung sistemang ah, kaisipan, okay, na itinatatak sa mga tao, sa mga namumunong mga classes, no? Just like the middle class or the higher classes, the elite, to preserve an existing social order that only serves the interests of the ruling classes. No? It's very clear here. No? So, ito yung sistema na dapat merong alipin, no? Merong tinatawag natin na um, lower class, middle class, and higher class. No? They're keeping the tradition, they're keeping the system, they're keeping the thoughts, they're keeping the knowledge for what? For them to keep the power and to keep the order and to preserve the existing social order for their own interests. That's according to Karl Marx. Okay? For Marxism, okay, for him, the discussion of ideology is always hinged on the idea of false consciousness. When we say false consciousness, false here means that what we receive, what we perceive, what we think of, what we believe of, is not the ideology of our own class, but the ideology of the powerful classes in the society. Okay? Yan yung nangyayari sa atin, no, na pinapaniwalaan natin ay hindi daw yan sa atin mismo. Galing yan sa what? Sa mga ruling classes na itinatanim sa ating isipan, and that's what we call, or that's what he calls, false consciousness. Okay? That's for Karl uh, Marx. Marx, no? Now, when we talk also about ideology, Marxist sociologist Lowe Althusser suggests that the bourgeoisie maintain power. Okay, we talk about bourgeoisie. Tama, bourgeoisie maintain power by using both. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, both repressive state apparatus, no, coercive power like police and army. Okay, kaya nami-maintain nila ang power kasi makapangyarihan sila. They have the power of the police and the army. Look at what happened. No? Look at what happened in our society just a while back. No? Look at what happened in Davao. No? They have the power over the police and the army. And ideological state apparatus institutions that spread Burgo, Bur, Burgos, Burgos ideology. Yeah, Burgos ideology and ensure the proletariat is in a state of false class consciousness. When I say proletariat, no, the term proletariat means uh, mob or the society, no, the lower class, the 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 class that we are in, no? Sabi na, it's institute that the spread Burgos ideology, yung yung ideolohiya ng mga taong elite, ng mga taong tinatawag nating ruling classes, no? Mapapanatili nilang tanga ang society. Okay? Tanga ang society sa pamumuhay ng isang kaisipan na okay lang ang lahat. No? So, proletariat, pro, lo, proletariat is in a state false class consciousness. So, kala natin okay lang. And tayo tong proletariat, no? Tayo ito. Tayo itong mga taong nasa laylayan at yung mga taong Burgos, no? Burgos. Yan yung mga taong mayayaman, ruling classes, okay? Next, ideology for Althusser, the media manufacture an imaginary picture of real condition of capitalism for their audience and in the process hide the true nature of their exploitation. No? So, pag sasabihin nating Karl Marx, no? Always nilang tinitira yung the way the government works, the way the society is being shaped by the elite, no? You know, people would say capitalism is a great sin and it's the greatest slavery, no? In history na up to date nangyayari pa din. Look at the capitalism, no? Uh in the argument stated, I saw a vlog, no, stating not a vlog, a I witnessed a seminar of a person. He defended capitalism, and there is a boy who contradicts capitalism. He said, "You're a capitalist, and I am not." Now, here's the thing: you you have the resources, you have the building, you have the machinery, you have the the materials needed to create a pencil. But without me as an employer, an employee, your pencil would not come into existence. It's a fair argument. But you know what the capitalist promoter just said? And without me as a capitalist, you will never be able to eat. That's true. Because capitalist, kaya yung nangyayari yung mga capitalist class, malaki yung income nila, 'di ba? Kasi ang gusto sa mga tao na ayaw ng capitalist, yan, capitalize ka. Pero ako naman yung nagtatrabaho. Ang gagawin natin, hati tayo. Sa'yo ang capital, wala kang gagawin. Ako magtatrabaho para sa'yo. Pero sa kikitain, dapat malaki din kita ko kasi ako naghihirap para palaguin ang negosyo mo. It's actually unfair for the capitalist. It's because when you talk about capitalists, I will spend million, depending on the result of your action, yayaman ako. Pero depending if for example, tanga ka, di ka marunong sa trabaho, and nag-e-expect ka na malaki ang pera mo, sinisweldohan kita ng malaki kasi gusto mo malaki sweldo mo, kasi nakikita mo malaki ang potential ng negosyong ito, yet at the end of the journey, malulugi ako kasi di mo naman pala alam kung paano palaguin ang negosyo. Di mo naman pala alam kung paano gawin ang trabahong ito. Mayayari, yung lahat ng capital ko sa paggawa ng building, sa pagparehistro, sa mga machinery, sa lahat ng gamit, hindi mo yan babayaran. Ako ang magso-shoulder, ako ang maghihirapan, I will be punished uh, by my own capital, no? So since I feel the most burden, then I should earn more. Tama? Ako naman yung nahihirapan, ako naman yung may maraming isinugal, eh, dapat ako talaga ang mas maraming kitain. Well, that is fact in our society, no? But no, people who are against capitalism, they're still fighting for such na dapat tanggalin ang capitalism. And if tatanggalin ang capitalism, wala tayong trabaho ngayon. It's true. Walang walang tao magkakaroon ng trabaho sapagkat titigil lahat ng negosyanteng magka-capitalize, mag-i-invest kasi Yung mga taong nagtatrabaho gusto nilang maging amo din, and it's impossible to happen. That is why be careful if you want to read the book of Karl Marx. Be careful because they're very one-sided in the nature of our society. They keep on firing against the societal function and societal order about how the society in a class in a ruling classes work in silence, no? That's ideology in discussion class. And if we are going to discuss that, hindi matatapos ang chapter 6. But ito yung mga pahapyaw, at I hope you were able to understand the very context and the very topic of the discussion. And uh, that's it, no? That's the end of the discussion of chapter 6. And I hope you learned something new today, class. And thank you so much, J. Marians, for uh, learning and sharing your thoughts with me, no, during the face-to-face classes. And I am very thankful to be your teacher for the subject media information literacy. I am happy and I hope you learn a lot from me. I am happy and at the same time hoping na pagkatapos nito, no, you're able, matatapos tayo nito, kayo yung mga tao, mga estudyante na sasabihin na, ah, that's a fake news because you learned, no? That's a fake news because one when I locate the information, hindi reliable yung source. That's a fake news. So, I hope kayo yung mga klaseng member ng society na hindi agad-agad naniniwala sa mga fake news. Okay? So, that's the end of our discussion for the chapter 6. Thank you so much, class. And of course, since I'm done with my discussion, expected that you will what? Study. And since you will be studying, the expectation we will have a quiz. Okay, so see you class tomorrow. Good day, good night, have a nice evening. God bless us all. Bye for now.